Welcome to another exciting edition of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr-Magazine.
And this is the Saturday BOLO show. Generally, every Saturday we bring you BOLOs, which are beyond the lookout items. These are things that you can find out there, things that we've got interesting little stories about. I pick up a lot of my things at flea markets, estate sales, church sales, once in a while garage sales, things like that. So the things that I show you can actually find out there at those places, and you show some pretty good stuff too.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Magazine with the big warehouse and 500,000 items. I got a retail store, and I've actually purchased things all over the country, all over the world actually, big collections, Europe, Canada, and so forth. So
nice.
Yeah.
And you got this out of one of those collections.
Yeah, and I just spoke about this on a live show. I don't know if you remember. We were talking about...
When is the live show?
I think it's Wednesday at 7:30.
7:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
There you go. Every Wednesday.
I've made most of them. But yeah, I was. You were talking about scarves and stuff and
yes.
different materials. I'm like, well, are they really different materials? We got to check. It could be velvet, whatever, velour. Who knows? So a gentleman reached out to me.
Fine Corinthian leather.
It could be. Yeah,
Probably not.
Not that one. No.
Probably not for scarves.
So. A buyer reached out to me and said, what material is it, what size is it? And I put these things off because it takes me time and money to have my employees check on it. So I kind of put it off a couple days. Someone made the offer of $35. I said, you know what? I didn't pay that much for it. I'm taking it. I don't have to do any looking at it, sizing up. They wanted it for $35, and I'm happy with the lower offer. I was asking $55. It might have been too high. I had it in for a year and so forth. So $35 on that. It's something you can find out. There's Rolling Stones promotional bandana.
Well, and one of the things, we shoot these in advance, and unfortunately we lost Charlie Watts recently. So the Rolling Stones have been all over the news too, which is probably why this sold.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I think one of the best things about those questions that you got is you pick up a collection with something like this similar in it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do right from the start with the employee?
I would, from now on, I would say measure it.
Yep.
What's it made of? Absolutely.
Right, and to anybody out there, you may not find this, but just the lesson that Mr. Magazine and I have learned off of that alone, hey, we were asked this kind of question about an item.
Right.
You now know in the future to note that. It will save you a lot of time and will make your sales better. And these are the things that you just don't think about all the time, because this kind of ties into the one live show we did about selling outside your niche.
Yeah.
You don't know to note that. Now you do.
Right. Well, what if there was 3 inches by 3 inches and they think this guy's crazy for $50? Or it could be 16 by 20 and like, wow, that's a bargain.
Could be a wall hanging, right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely very important info you need in there.
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, and that's how we all get better, just constant improvement on things.
Sure. Yeah, we're still doing it. All right, next up, I had this for a while, but these are things you can find out there even without the box. Corgi, it's a Jeep FC150 in original box. So I had, I think, 100 on it, then 84, and I think I took a $70 offer. But Corgi is out there. You can probably buy them, $5-10 if you see them. Anything Corgi is good, whether it's big or small. So.
Now, a lot of this stuff, at least some of the Corgis, the smaller ones, you can actually find in people's Hot Wheels collections.
Absolutely,
Matchbox Hot Wheels.
And a lot of like movie-related, James Bond or the Monkey Mobile, stuff like that. So.
Roughly when was that, 60s?
Yeah, late 60s, yeah. Yeah, very cool. All right, what do we got here? Rolling Stone, the magazine, not the band. But Charles Manson obviously sold this. I think I got the $35 out of it. Very cool. And then we did unfold it and take the backside, which people want to see sometimes.
Well, and that's, I know we've done a lot of BOLO videos where we talk about keywords. Charles Manson definitely is a keyword.
Sure, absolutely.
He will definitely drive traffic to an item, and people will buy that.
And that's not him on the cover, but it's talking about the Manson family, so that's what did it in. Elvis would have been nice to add that in, but, it is what it is. We still sold it.
Nope, that's true. That's true. Even Carole King.
Yeah.
I believe she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I believe she is.
Cool. Yep. And then when you buy collections or boxes of things, sports cards or whatever, always look through everything. This is a Terry Bradshaw rookie from 1971. I bought a collection of stuff, and there was a little box of cards I overlooked, and I didn't even know it was in there. So I was, rummaging through stuff, trying to organize it for my listers, come across it, pretty decent shape, and end up going for $100.
Yeah, you can't argue with it as a throw.
It's like free money, exactly.
Well, and this is kind of the key in that as well. You didn't pay for that, and by that I mean when you made your offer on the collection,
Right.
you put zero value on it
Yeah.
because you didn't even know it was there.
Exactly. Right.
So that's the best kind of
Yeah.
thing. That's like a free $100 bill sitting around.
Sure, absolutely.
What did you, if I can ask, what did you pay on the whole collection? Any idea?
It was probably like $500.
$500. So you got 20% of your
Yeah.
money back roughly
Yeah.
on something you didn't even know was there,
Exactly, yeah.
which is wonderful.
Perfect, yeah. All right, next, Pettigrew calendar. We've been selling a lot of calendars lately, but we've been listing them. We've been sitting around for a while, and this is from a year ago. I took a $70 offer on this one as well. But any types of pinups and so forth, and now with eBay's new policy, you got to be careful even listing this. Who knows what they're going to, hey, maybe that skirt's too short. So I wanted to sell it and get out of it.
Now you sound like a dad from the 1950s. You going out with that skirt?
Yeah.
Can I give a bit of a tip as to what I would have done on that listing?
Sure.
I would have taken out the second petty,
Okay.
and
yeah,
I would
true.
have put in pinup.
Yes.
Because if somebody searches on George Petty, it would
Yeah.
still show up.
Or even cheesecake would have been a nice keyword. you
Yep,
know.
yep, something like that. So just a little
Yeah.
tip as to how I would have
There's
done
no
it.
reason to put that in twice. I agree with you 100%. Yep. All right, next, National Examiner, March 2000, JFK, Demi Moore. These things you can get anywhere, and you can probably buy them for a quarter, 50 cents. So I try and buy them in bulk and deals when I get them. I try and put 15 to 25, 30 bucks on these because most people throw them out. They're thin pieces of newspaper. They went through them, looked at the covers, the stories.
They read the
crazy
lurid story,
Yeah,
yep.
so, I don't think there's a lot out there. If they are, they're hidden in some people's basements. But when you see them, you should scarf them up and sell them because definitely you can get some good money for them.
And talking about keywords, JFK Jr.,
Yeah.
that is a big keyword. He
Sure.
will sell things even better than JFK.
Yeah.
Probably even better than Jackie, because there are a
Yeah,
lot of Jackie
true.
collectors as well.
Yep.
JFK Jr. is a definitely a
Yeah.
keyword. You see anything with JFK Jr. that's not the super common stuff,
Right.
and it will sell.
Yep, absolutely. Next up, I used to not throw these out, but not buy them. This sold after 4 years, but because of all the grading craze and the sports card craze, certain players are selling for a lot more than they were in the past. Bo Jackson being one of them. Beckett football monthlies. I hated buying these or getting them in collections because no one wanted them 20 years ago.
Right.
Now they're grading them and they're collecting Jordan, Bo Jackson, Joe Montana. They're definitely sellable at this point, so you can probably still find them cheap out there. Bo Jackson has one, the black and white one, when he's got the pads on and the baseball bat.
Oh, yeah. Yep. The famous
They're
poster.
all
Yep.
15, 20, 25 bucks. So
Well, and that's another thing too. And this is, I know we've done a couple of videos where we talk. In fact, we did a live show, as a matter of fact, where we talked about long tail and really how long tail works. And 4 years really isn't that long
no.
within our world.
Yeah, and I probably paid probably a buck or two for this at the most, because even back in 2017 when we listed it, I didn't want them back then. So either as they're sitting around, I had nothing into it, or I paid a buck or two. So either which way, you're making good money on that.
Yeah. And you can find those, no doubt
Sure,
at all.
absolutely. Last up for me, Daryl Dawkins 1986-87 Fleer card. Basically, they're all considered rookies because this is the first time they came out with these cards in the 80s. This is the Michael Jordan rookie year. But this is pretty much a common minor star. It's sold for 16 bucks. So, and you can find them out there, the commons. And most likely, you're not going to go to Gretsch and find Jordan, but you could find these cards for a buck or two, or even $5 and make some money.
Or the other thing too is you could find the commons out there because somebody's already sold off the stars,
Yeah.
and they don't want the commons.
Right, and
kinda deal.
if you have mint high grade and do good scans, if people think they can grade them out high at 9s and 10s, this card could have went for 50 bucks. So most likely 16's the most I could have gotten. Maybe it's an 8. I don't know, but definitely keep a lookout on those.
Right. And again, everybody wants the Jordan, everybody wants the Barkley, and it's Lajuan, et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera. They may just walk right by the commons, going, "Oh, they're just commons." And so if
Right.
you can pick them up out there, you can actually probably buy these from not the real dealers, but the weekend dealer kind
Yeah,
of people, because they don't put any value on it.
Yeah,
'Cause they
got
bought the
in a
lot
deal exactly,
and they sold the good ones off, and they just want to get rid of the rest.
True.
Because again, the real dealer might hang on to them, and you go to them to fill your sets.
Right.
The weekend dealer doesn't want to deal
True,
with that. He
yeah.
just wants to get rid of the stuff.
Exactly.
So head on over into the interesting stuff. I don't know if you caught the news or not, but the John F. Kennedy murder was solved
Oh wow.
in
Awesome.
1978. So we can wrap that one all up.
Okay.
Los-
It looks like they use this as a fly swatter.
The Los Angeles Free Press, one of those counterculture type newspapers / magazines, definitely pick things up like this. It's muckraking, as they would say back in the old days. A lot of fun. Did get $20 out of it. And again, and it's funny that because one thing we don't do is we do not compare notes before we begin this. So you had something with JFK Jr., I had something with JFK.
Yeah.
So I guess that shows that,
we're
that
making him
stuff
trend.
does sell.
He's trending now because of us. Thank you.
There you go. But just kind of a neat one over there. Next item we have up over here, Circus Casino, Las Vegas, 1972 photo folder. Got $15 out of it. Basically because of the Circus. You would have gone there. I probably, there we go. I did do
That's
this.
why it's sold.
Yep.
How cool that is.
One of those great things where people stick their head through the background. So kind of neat little item over there. You can find these things all the time. Photo dealers don't put a lot of value on this. You can get $15 out of it. Usually you'll pay, and this was a smaller size folder. A lot of times they're the larger folders. Larger folders you pay about $1 for, and by larger I'm saying like 8 by 10.
8 by 10, yeah.
This was like a 4 by 6 maybe. I'm sure I said down below. Pay $1.50, something rather like this. It'll sell for $15. You cannot argue with that whatsoever. Nice. And you can find this kind of thing out there. Next item we have is yet another thing you can find out there. Storybook Forest in Pennsylvania, Ligonier, I don't know.
Sure.
1960s. Got $13 out of it. It did take a while. It took 6 years, so I had to beat your 4 years there with the 6-year one.
Nice.
But you can find this kind of stuff, and you're going to pay $1 for it at most. If they want $5 on it, walk away. Not worth buying.
Right.
$1 or under $1, make a pile. They'll make you smile kind of deal. You can end up getting a lot of this kind of stuff all together. $13 plus shipping on that, because that was back when I used to charge shipping.
Sure.
So I got $16 out of something I paid 50 cents to $1 for.
Nice.
No big deal.
Yeah.
But you can find them, and that's the key. The next thing over here is something or other. This is what it, see if I have a picture. Well, I took a lot of different pictures on this over here, but it was all wrapped up. So it basically looked like that.
Okay.
That's probably not going to sell it to too many people. So I ended up selling it like that, with that as my main picture. Cool. And I think I took $22 on it, if I remember right. It was an envelope that what you would do is apparently they were a lot more trusting of the post office back in the day. You would fill it up with coins and then mail it off to the March of Dimes. You fill it up with dimes and then mail it off there.
Nice.
Can't be a lot of those still left out there. This was never used. Just a neat little item, but I guess that just shows that the picture does sell items.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, again, back in the day, I probably would have used the first picture, which would have been that. Nobody would have ever wanted it. Now I use this, took multiple pictures of it. In fact, right there you could see where you would wrap the coin or put the coins in there, and then you would mail it off to them inside the box. It was all in one.
Nice.
Very, very convenient. If anybody has 1940s dimes they're looking to get rid of, mail them to me. I'll accept them. Next item we have over here is a mobile environmental awareness ruler, polystyrene. Got $12 out of it. It did take 5 years to sell, which again shows the long tail. I didn't pay for it. It was just something, I don't tend to go out and say, hey, you know what I want to buy is a ruler today. Came in some collection somewhere. I didn't know what to do with it. I sat there and said, oh, what the heck, and I'll put it on. It has the environmental thing. Don't have a date on it, but I think it's probably 1970s or 1980s if I had to take a guess.
Yeah.
But not bad at all to pick up $12 out of a ruler that came in free in a collection kind of deal.
Yeah.
So do keep your eyes open on that kind of thing. Don't pay much for it, obviously, but it does sell, and that's the whole key. Next item we have over here, we did talk about this on the live show. Did get the $54 out of it. Pick Magazine, January 1953, GI Tattoos, Boxing, Earl Nelson, Bing Crosby.
Nice.
I don't know who's searching on Earl Nelson, but I put it in just in case because I had the space.
Right.
Might as well use all the space. But it's got some great pictures in here of tattoos.
Wow.
People getting, the boxing one over there.
Very cool.
But yeah, various tattoo ones showing how it happened and all that. And it's from the 50s, so it's definitely going to sell. But that's where my going through the item. I mean, I did mention it on the cover as well, but back in the day, I would not have taken the extra pictures.
Yeah.
Taking the extra pictures, I think, did sell it for the $54. And as I mentioned on the live show, somebody offered me $10 on it, and it was up for auction at the time.
Yeah.
So basically, they wanted me to end the auction to get $10. I mean, no disrespect to anybody in a different financial situation than me. I don't need $10 that badly.
Right.
I do have free shipping. Take away the shipping, I'm at $6.
Well,
Take away my fees,
you're putting value
I'm at
on
$4.
your product too. You know it's better than that.
Take away what I pay for it, I'm at $2. Take away my packing supplies, I'm at $1.50. So basically, they wanted me to make $1.50. it's not worth it to me for that.
But in 20 years of you selling things, how many 1950s tattoo items have you had?
Very few.
So you know right there, you know.
Very, very few. Yep. So believe in your product, and it will pay off. And I don't know if the gentleman that made the $10 offer gets very many people biting on it, but that's so low as to basically be insulting to let
Sure.
you know, especially on an item like this.
Yeah.
The last item I have over here is the Strand magazine, July 1901, A. Conan Doyle, Japanese botany, Douglas Houghton. And the reason why I put this up is you will have seen this before, and I bought this out at Madison Bachville, and I don't remember if it's in our video about Madison Bachville or if it's in Primetime Treasure Hunter's video about Madison Bachville. I believe it might be in his video. I did a little quiz. I brought this out, and I asked Primetime, what is the Strand magazine known for? And he actually pegged that it had A. Conan Doyle in it. And I was very, very impressed because a lot of people don't know that.
Sure.
So shout out to Primetime. He passed the test that I impromptu dropped on him. But it did end up going for $48. And unfortunately, this A. Conan Doyle, which I did show a picture of the article, unfortunately, it was not a Sherlock Holmes. If it had been Sherlock Holmes, it would have gone for more money, of course.
Gotcha.
This was just a little interview with him. So, but still to get $48 for something or other that I paid $5 for.
Yeah.
And when I was buying it, I took a chance on it because it might have had, I knew it had the Sherlock Holmes stuff in it. For $5, I knew I was going to make money. Took a chance to make a lot of money. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, but still can't argue with that whatsoever.
Right.
So do hit the like button. Do let us know anything that you find out there, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.